started from my basement as a contractor and eventually grew it to 18 states and 173 million in sales.
Booyah, baby.
I just think that the vague term negotiated claim is being misused to make people think suddenly you can't act as an American citizen or entrepreneur because that violates the Constitution.
And I looked at him and said, look, if you change this plan, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions down the road. See, that's when I got in as a sales guy doing this, knocking doors.
What do we do? Like, how do we grow? We had no idea.
What you've created here now is like unbelievable.
And everybody's ignoring what we saw with the 95% of property casualty claims, which are $10,000 claims on average.
Exactly.
Booyah, baby!
This is our country. This is our liberty.
Hey guys, Atheist Medical live on a Speakeasy. Today I got Jack Hanks. I know a lot of you guys already know him, but now he's with
Velocity Public Adjusting.
Velocity Public Adjusting, formerly with Skipton's.
Yep, for 5 years.
Also a vendor of ours and affiliate of ours for many years. I'm assuming you guys left on good terms.
Always good terms. Yeah, it's a you got to keep everyone happy, man.
Yeah.
Small industry we're in. So.
And now you launched Velocity. Now you got quite a few licenses out there.
41 states. We are operating a
41
license.
states. 41 states.
A lot of frequent flyer miles.
How do you upkeep all that licensure?
I have one gentleman. All he does is make sure we are bonded and licensed continually. It's a process. It's a lot of paperwork for these different states. Some are easy, some are very difficult, but we get it done. So.
I was a licensed contractor in 18 states at one time, roofing and general contracting. So I know the flying around. I used to have to do the continuing education credits. I'd fly up to Minnesota and sit through the one-day seminar and meet my deal and then
Check
go fly
the
the next one.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys public adjusters have the same?
Yeah, for sure. We got to keep. You got to keep so many CE hours every year. They'll yank your license. So when we do the trainings that we've been doing, we can offer Florida credit hours, Texas credit hours, things like that. So it's a great way to keep that up. So we do it internally. It works out perfect.
No, I know. Like when Bush Law Group came in and did they did a thing for Florida public adjusters and attorneys. For that state, some of the education they provided was actually stamped.
So was ours. So the one we're doing in August in Tampa with the Merlin Group, if you register for that, you get, I think it's 18 Florida continuing ed credits.
Okay.
So it's a great deal for these guys.
Nice.
Yeah,
Take a look at that.
It's hard to do, but we got it done. So
we should try to put more content like that at Win the Storm if you guys have some.
Yep.
Any ability to get that CEE stamp.
Yep.
We did that last year. We liked it. We're going to do more of that. We even got some facility and risk managers and property managers coming in this year, and I found out from their gal that some of that stuff crosses over, like business and law and different things. Risk management, business law, facility management, any of those kind of things can qualify for some of these risk managers, facility managers as well. So Jack Hanks on a Speakeasy today. We were in the incubator. We shot in the green room. I thought we did a good job.
We did, man. We killed it.
Created a 5-chapter public adjuster course in about a little under 3 hours, including the analysis, what the hell we're going to talk about. There's so much content out there these days. You got to find something a little unique, little difference, differentiating factors about what we can. So many different things. We talked about incurred costs today.
Yep. Appraisal.
You got to do appraisals.
Yep.
Kind of leveraging incurred costs, emergency mitigation situations. I think some guys out there will really enjoy this new SVG University course, which Jack sponsored and will be inside. And he will be an instructor inside SVG University for future contractors. And there's also public adjusters using the university now. So
yeah, we actually trained 120 PAs last year out of our training program. So it's we're trying to bring everybody up a little bit. And what's that quote? Rising tides raises all ships. Yeah. So we're all about that, man. The industry has really come together the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, like we talked about. So I think it's been great.
Jack's been a vendor at Win the Storm for at least 4 years, last 4 years.
Yeah, be our 5th in February. Yeah, excited for Dallas, man. Big market.
Most of the guys watch this right now already know you because you are very heavily involved with social media.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah,
pop up here, and I always see you pop up in different states. I'm like, how does he travel that much? You travel more than I do.
It's a lot, but we do. You got to go where the claims are, right, and the clients, and take care of them. And public adjusting, you got to feel and touch what you're doing. So these bigger claims, man, you got to get on and get down and dirty on them. So that's what we're doing. It's a lot of flying, and I think last week we were in 5 different states in 4 days. So we were Looked at over 30 claims in 4 days. We were humping pretty good. So I got a great team though. They work really hard and it pays off. So.
Now, your new firm, Velocity Public Adjusters, I don't want to get too in your business, but I know you got a couple minority partners, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, we have an attorney on board and also a real estate investment group on board. So we have the whole gamut of number one, a really good. This is a good group of people involved who are smarter than I am, thank God.
You always got to partner with people smarter than you.
Well, that's the idea,
If
right?
they're dumber, you'll never grow.
I want to be the dumbest guy in the
You'll
world.
be managing them all the time.
Yeah, so no, it works out great. So we got a good group. We got a great team put together. I got 17 adjusters and PAs on staff as well. We got 150 claims our first month, so we're very
48 states is a hell of a lot of 41 states.
41
states. So let's talk about ones you're not in. You're probably not in Alaska.
Nope.
You're probably not in Rhode Island.
Vermont, Rhode Island, Alaska, those little goofy states all jammed in there. We try to keep out of, but I have Massachusetts, New Jersey, Maine, Florida, of course, the whole Midwest, Arkansas,
How about
Alabama.
the state of Washington?
I'm Washington.
You're Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Minnesota?
I am. A lot of claims in Minnesota we have. A lot of Cedar Shake in Minnesota.
Not Cedar.
Well, your hometown, man. So yeah, we have a lot of claims up there. So Minnesota has great laws for the insured. So it's a great state to get work done.
Good codes. They got Ice and Water Shield code. Yep. They used to have the Attorney General back in '98 made matching law an issue. It used to be a strong matching law state. I don't know if it still is.
It's a little bit more vague now, which most states are. But we get a lot of stuff bought there, a lot of good stuff paid.
Yeah,
it's a really good state for that. So is Washington actually too.
So this minority partner, we don't have to mention any names, but a real estate investment. Are we talking about a legitimate REIT, like somebody who owns a large?
Yeah, what they do is they
or?
buy and sell real estate, and that's what they do. And they actually had a lot of funds available, and they were running the real estate market's so difficult now. They had a pot of money available, and they loved this business because catastrophes happen.
Let me guess who their public adjuster is on all their properties.
Just so happened to make that work. Yeah.
Do they get a discounted fee now?
No, hell no. You pay for what you get, right?
Right.
No, so it worked out great. I mean, they had some money available, and it took me a while to make a decision, but I got all the proper pieces and parts and the right people involved, which is the key to any business, like you know. And we're doing great things, man. So it's really exciting, man.
Now, you and I have both seen, we had a good conversation. I didn't realize you got into business in 1998.
88, 89.
89?
Yeah.
I was still in high school then.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it until 1999.
I was a restoration contractor.
You've been in the industry 10 years longer than me.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a while.
Because I always people raise their hands and win a storm. Like, anybody been in the business since 1998, 1999? You always get, there's like 3 hands that go up. And I'm like, man, I can't be the oldest guy in the room.
Well, you're not anymore, so.
So Jack was a restoration contractor from 1988, 1989 until
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, I got tired of I was a State Farm premier vendor. I was on Farmers List, Liberty's, Safeco.
He was an MRP.
Yeah.
That means preferred contractor, getting paid by the carriers.
Checks come right to us, but they got to the point where they were controlling where we buy things, how we did things. The mailman was our best friend, and you can't run a business that way. So I decided to wind that thing down and come to the good side and start helping people for real instead of waiting on, being strung out for millions of dollars over a course of a few months. It's not a great way to live.
So you say they got tight.
Oh, real tight.
Yeah, what's interesting
Tighter.
when we talked about the timelines, you said something happened in the late 90s, about the early 2000s, where there's a fundamental shift in the way carriers treated customers, treated contractors, and fundamentally operated as a business.
Well, what happened was back in the McKinsey report, Allstate, it's a big famous story, right? They changed their business philosophy in the late 90s. Instead of becoming, they were policy friendly, so anytime the insured had a claim, they go out and pay it and do their thing. In the late 90s, it shifted to being stockholder friendly, or the bottom line is all that mattered. So the claims started getting tighter and tighter, and coverage has gotten tighter and tighter, and it made it real difficult for a preferred vendor to make a real decent living because they started controlling everything.
So even as a preferred contractor or MRP, you were feeling the squeeze, which is why you got out of it.
Yeah, it was so paperwork intensive. I had to hire administrative people just to run each program, which is $75,000 a year, right off the top. And the margin started shrinking. The overhead went up. It was no.
Can you imagine being a contractor that wasn't preferred? Oh, they shrink even more.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to deal with that. So they used to force our way in and get us to do the work because they can control our costs that way, right? That's what they do. So I made a conscious decision 5 years ago not to be that guy anymore. And the good news is I still have a bunch of relationships on that side. So we do see the guys that I know and have a relationship with, we get these claims done because there's some trust factor there. And so that's been a big thing, a big positive for us. Knowing both sides of it, knowing both, most of these guys want to do a good job, right? But you got to kind of just document it properly and get the stuff in front of them early, so they don't have time to do their little magic behind the scenes,
Now, another shift we noticed in the industry, we talked about the changing, just how the industry's fundamentally changed. It's 2010, 2011. I think I had met in the first 10 years of my time in the industry, one PA or public adjuster. Yeah. I still wasn't sure what they did in 2011. I think there's guys watching this right now that still don't fundamentally understand what a public adjuster does. And then what was cool is, 5 years ago we started introducing the concept of public adjusters and contractors working together versus doing this. At the Winter Storm Conference, it's really burgeoned now into a good relationship for a lot of contractor PAs working together in some capacity on complicated claims.
Oh, I mean, what's really helped us is we got to know each other as people, right? I mean, I talk to my competitors literally all the time because we're never really competing because there's so much work for all of us, right? So we're out there, we're exchanging ideas, and we're actually training each other. There's a training going on in Florida next month that I'm sending a couple of my guys to. Someone just came back from another training program in Texas. So we're making the shift that we're all starting to work together.
John, one of the continuing education credits?
Yeah.
Tampa?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing. And also, too, back in the day, we were competing with contractors. A big hurricane would hit. We run out and start knocking on doors as the contractors would. Well, you're just basically competing against each other at that point. So I made a fundamental shift about 4 years ago. About a year into this, I'm like, this is not working. I started marketing contractors through SVG, and I built my database up of contractors and roofing companies. I market them. They're the ones out running, chasing the work. They bring me aboard when it's necessary, and it's created a good synergy for all of us. I'm protecting their money. I'm getting claims bought. When I'm doing that work, they can go out and get 10 more claims.
Right.
So it's been a phenomenal relationship for all of us on both sides, as well as my name's on that check. Yep. So when Mrs.
Which
Smith,
means he can help get your name on a check or help you secure the job. Let's put it that way.
So Mrs. Smith doesn't win the lottery anymore. That check comes to my office, and I make sure everybody gets paid. That's a great way we control the money this way. So
and you typically send as long as they have a direction to pay, a contingency or an AOB in some states, you send back a joint party check to the contractor and the homeowner to the contractor.
Yep.
And then he can, on his terms, go
Correct.
rectify that with the property.
Yeah, it's a joint check with their name on it and the insured's name on it because we have to do that because they're indemnified, and then they control the money that way. And that way, somebody's not going to buy a new car or going on vacation.
Right.
They're actually going to get the work done that they've been paid for.
Which inadvertently helps the contractor out.
That's the idea.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll tell you that most PAs charge 10%. I think that's your going rate.
That's the norm, for everybody,
10%.
sure.
A lot of guys think, well, I don't need a PA, it's 10%, it's da-da-da-da. I always, I tell you this, if you have 100 job files, right?
Yep.
And 60 of them are going to get turned in with an ACV check with little or no hassle. You get your estimates and supplements approved, but I don't care how good you are.
Yep.
30 or 40 of them or 20 of them are going to hit that second, third adjustment. They're going to engineer reports. They're sending on engineers. You're talking about appraisal. Sometimes chasing those takes you away from bringing the other 70 on that. We're not like those.
Yep.
Right? And so sometimes there's a mathematical formula to look at that 0%, or say 100% of zero is nothing. Right. And 90% of a million is still 900,000.
Well, that's it. If you give us those claims, we're going to handle we're going to do the estimating. We're going to meet the engineers. We're going to write all the estimates. We're going to do all the meetings. All you're going to be doing then is doing the roofs when they're ready. Let us handle that back end stuff. You guys do what you're good at. We'll do what we're great at. It's a perfect synergy relationship for everyone. They can go sell. When we're doing that work, they can go sell 10 more, right? Instead of worrying about meeting the engineer, meeting the insurance company, running around like all these different appointments that the insurance company does on purpose to wear everybody out. We handle all that for our fee, as well as write a really detailed estimate. Go sell more roofs. We'll take care of all that. That's the idea, right?
Now, you and your firm, you're also doing appraisals.
Yeah.
Which I've talked to other public adjusters in the past. Now, the word appraisal, nobody knew what that word meant either 5 years ago. Just, Yep. Now everybody knows. It's actually a chapter in my university, a chapter in my book is, what's an appraisal, just because I had some experience with it back in the day. A lot of public adjusters and attorneys don't like the appraisal process, from what I understand. So you telling me that you actually do these a lot and like them, it was kind of interesting to hear.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to settle a claim quickly and efficiently.
Because you can't take a fee and be the appraiser, correct? It's got to be one of the
It's
other.
either a flat fee or hourly, and you can't take a PA fee. You can't appraise your own PA claim.
So you can't sign as a PA and then also be an appraiser.
No. You want to be the point of appraisal is be completely independent. You don't have any financial duties for that claim other than what you charge for your time. So it's a great way to get these claims.
How do you list? So let's say I bring you a claim. It's a $50,000 Cedar Shake. 20 years old.
Yeah.
Allstate paid for 20%.
Valleys,
I know it's non-repairable. Now I never hired a PA back then because I thought I was pretty good at handling myself, but I didn't know what a PA was either. But let's say I hired you, and you approach it, and you know damn well it should be $100,000 when it's done. And that was even after I told you it was 50, but you saw some stuff I did.
Right.
Whatever. And they had denied pretty much everything but the valleys, the flashing, and maybe they paid for a minor repair. Just curious, would you say, Anthony, let me just sign this as a PA and see what I can do? Or you say, Anthony, let's take it to appraisal. Is there analysis between the two?
Yeah, so what happens is I have the guys email the file over, and what our philosophy is, we always want to do what's best for the insured. Okay, so if they already bought on your example, if they already paid $12,000 out of it, and you already opened up coverage, and all we're going to do is define the coverage more and write a different scope, I think the appraisal is the way to go on that.
Even as a PA?
Even as a PA.
Okay.
We're going to make less money.
And is that faster, slower? Is all
It's faster.
It's faster?
And the cool part takes the insurance company out of the way. As long as we have a good umpire that's chosen up front, it actually is going to be a little bit cheaper for the client.
Let me clarify that. As long as we don't choose off the insurance company's umpire list.
Correct. I have my own list.
Right.
A very long list.
So guys are like, what does that mean? Because a lot of times they get that list and they think that's the only list.
Oh,
and they
no.
actually pick off the list that the insurance carrier's appraiser submitted,
Sure.
which is all their cronies at 20
Yeah,
years.
exactly. So we have our own list, and we make sure we fight like hell to get our umpire selected. If it gets that far, we want to be able to have.
Have you ever had a push to the judge's state of record to pick the umpire?
Once or twice, yeah.
Okay.
But that usually ends up being somebody very neutral, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's still kind of the good old boy network in a couple places, but we won't mention that. But no, appraisal's been phenomenal. It's been great cash flow for our company. And number two, it's quicker and cheaper for the insured. It gives the contractor more money if I'm not taking 10%, I'm taking 3 or 4%. It's going to save everybody a little bit of money. You make more profit for the contractor, and the insurance more happy. They're a lot more happy.
Now, can the winning? I'm trying to remember the rules. It's been a few years. Can the winning side include the appraiser's fee or the umpire's fee in the appraisal award?
No, it's the appraisor, and the umpire have to be paid independently from the insured.
And is there ever a case where you take on an appraisal where you might have a PA that signed the deal? Does that ever happen?
We're doing probably 20 to 30 appraisers for other PAs right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they're already the signed PA?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So once
now,
again,
can their fee be included in the appraisal award since it's not under the normal jurisdictions of jury trial and law?
No, they're still going to get paid a percentage of the claim.
And you cannot include that in the appraisal award? Have you ever tried? Why?
It's not how it works, yeah.
But the umpire can sign it.
I am not an attorney, nor do I pretend to be one.
Okay.
So that's a John telling John Wood question right there. So.
But it'd be interesting to find that out. 'Cause
Possibly.
I suppose if an umpire in an appraisal signs something.
Well, it gets a little bit hazy because the insurance company is only going to pay what is demanded by. There's a lot of rules and stuff behind the scenes. So, the insurance company. Zach Mosley of MMA. They got a $1 million appraisal award, and the insurance company offered $100,000. So appraisal is getting very tricky as well. These insurance companies are catching on to this, right? Because it's being used a lot more now.
Are they paying that award?
No, they're paying. They offer them $100,000. Now they got to go sue.
Now they got to sue because they're not honoring the appraisal.
Which makes, if you think about it, the insurance company is just going to get out of that, right? So if that ever goes to jury and you have a signed appraisal award by umpire,
and it's in the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a delay tactic.
Which could be bad faith.
Possibly.
If they delayed the property owner from getting built quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there's a lot of legal stuff going on behind the scenes. That's why having like you said, great Rolodex of good PAs, good attorneys, good engineers on your side to get you guys out of the weeds on this stuff is so important. Because it can go south very quickly. Even when something goes well, it can solve a problem.
So today, you've been working with contractors now the last 4 years. I won't say it's from the Wind and Storm Conference, but it might be.
It doesn't hurt to go to the Wind and Storm Conference. Yeah.
But how much of your business these days comes directly from contractors versus consumers?
Over 90%.
Over 90%.
It's all referrals, man. Yeah, I get referrals from contractors.
Well, I just want to say you're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just kidding.
No, for real. I mean, in all due respect.
Can I get a vig on that?
Without going to Anthony's events, it wouldn't be like that, right? So we're on these panels, we get to know each other, and we're meeting thousands of contractors a day at these shows, as well as the Facebook stuff. I literally post something almost every day on your Facebook.
Yeah, I see you pop up all the time.
Yeah, and it works, and it's
Always in different cities.
yeah.
I'm like, how's he move around? And he always ends up back in like Del Mar having a drink with somebody on the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's back in California.
Because it's cool and 64 degrees on the beach
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
Relax.
So yeah, it's a good thing. The industry's coming together. We're all being smarter. I think we're a lot better business people than we were 10 years ago. So.
Hey. So what do you think of a lot of stuff going on? We saw the Florida non-solicitation law.
That's already been
jacked
dumped.
today. The DBPR got, sued. They got stayed.
Yeah, there's
Their
a
order
stay.
got stayed as
Yep.
unconstitutional, which is the right thing to do because you shouldn't be able to restrict an American entrepreneur or citizen from speaking freely about what they feel about their business or
Correct.
whatever they're thinking
Or
about.
referring or whatever, right. No,
Yeah.
it was a
I
joke.
thought it was great.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
So hopefully it goes all the way to the Supreme Court.
I think it will, actually.
Teach them a lesson.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he even got through the first time, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
very sad.
Some law firm or somebody hit me up today and said, "You want to, do a podcast, talk about this whole process?" What they apparently they were the ones that filed the injunction.
That's great.
So I got to get back to that guy here later today.
Yeah, it's a big deal. That was a big deal. I mean, it got a little scary and a little hairy there, but you know what? Here's the thing: if there's a will, there's a way. We would figure something else to get it done.
Well,
with.
it's nice to see that somebody understands what the Constitution still is, because most people at city and state level seem to forget they went cuckoo.
Yeah,
We saw that happen this whole last year.
a little bit.
We won't get into those details.
That's another speakeasy.
Unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So Jack Hanks, guys, Velocity Public Adjusting, licensed in 41 states.
Yeah.
Going to be at the Winter Storm Conference again
Always.
this year.
Got a big. I think we had a 20 by 10 booth.
20 by 10 booth.
Yeah, on the corner. So
We're going to be in Dallas. I'm sure people have heard. We've leaked it out slowly. The formal announcement's coming tomorrow morning.
Okay.
The Dallas Convention Center. We had to give some love to Texas. Got a lot of claims, a lot of contracts in Texas.
we're in
We've
Texas.
never done in Dallas.
About 30% of the time we're in Texas. That's one of our busiest markets.
Yeah.
A lot of good roofers there.
I went to the IRE show there 2 years ago. It's nice, centrally located,
Yep.
right downtown.
Yep.
Same place. A beautiful space there. I think there's like 600,000, 700,000 square feet. We only need half of that, so we can do like 300,000 square feet. You got breakout rooms right above the conference. You can
Right.
look out the windows, and it's just a good location. But we've never done it in Texas. We've done New Orleans,
Florida.
we've done Miami, Phoenix, Vegas a couple of years in a row. We took a little break from Vegas.
Oh, thank God.
The problem with Vegas is when they walk out of the conference,
Yeah.
the machines are there, the
Yeah.
blackjack tables, all of a sudden you go, where'd everybody go?
Those are long weeks in Vegas at that trade show, believe me. But yeah, it was fun.
But we're excited about Dallas. It's February 14th, 15th, and 16th, second week of February. Prime time, right after January vacations and holidays, right before the new storm season
Yep.
hits, which can be in early March, mid-March for a lot of
That's
concerts.
when the hail
depending on
starts.
what type of
Yep.
part of the country you're in, and we're excited about that. We're also going to kick off the road show Monday, so we're going to come out to Dallas on Monday, July 26th. I believe that's it, July 26th. We're going to kick off the road show, the solar road show, which I told you a little about that
Yep.
today, and then do the walk. I think Autumn's doing a walkthrough in a convention center with some vendors and stuff.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
we'll be there.
You're certainly welcome to
Yep.
come. And we're excited to hit the solar road show, which is really just nothing more than giving the concept of incurred costs back into the contractor's hands. We talked about that
Great
today.
concept, 100%.
And I know some of you guys came to the boot camp to really understand. We just had 40 or 50 contractor CEOs leave here Saturday. They're here for a 2-day boot
Yep.
camp. It's not about the solar per se. You don't have to believe the icebergs are melting to get into this. It's about the financing. It's about accessing that 1.9% over 25 years at a 600 above credit score to get things like re-roofs, roof upgrades, deductibles, windows, doors, whatever paid for by the solar finance company.
Right.
And sometimes the way the math works, let's say your utility bill is $242 here in Arizona. You throw 20 solar panels on, it goes to $120. Locked in for 25 years, no increases, right?
Right.
There's about a $160 spread there per month, times that by 25 years. Maybe it's a $40,000 savings. So what? Am I going to care? Probably not. Probably not going to go through all that pain just to
Right.
save $40, 40% of my utility bill. But my mom would.
Yep.
My aunts would.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of people that would. I'm just not that type of guy. But you know what interests me? If the same guy said, oh, by the way, your tile roof, that's an older tile, and your insurance company paid for $80,000. For $100,000, I can put on a stone coat of steel and give you a better warranty, and I can
Right.
take care of that $20,000 deductible. Just hit this little button here. But I got to throw some solar panels on.
Done.
Guess who I'm signing with? That guy.
Yep, 100%.
Oh, and you know what, Anthony? Not that I'd care, because I'd want the financing either way. I take the financing. Your solar offset over 25 years, paid for that roof upgrade and your deductible. Here's your utility bill. It's still the same or lower than it was before. Your solar offset paid for your roof upgrade and your deductible. Where do I sign?
And
Because smart people don't want to lose 20 grand if they don't have to.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the solar. It has to do with the financing. And these people saw that. People are starting to see what that means. What does that mean in a world of supplementing PAs and attorneys?
Well, if the claim is documented up front properly, that means, number one, the contractor's going to get paid faster.
Which means he's going to go generate more business and hire more people.
Correct. And we're going to get more claims that
Which
way.
means he's not going to hate his attorney and public adjuster or
If it takes
estimating
4
company.
months, right.
Because sometimes when you're dealing with carriers, it can take 3, 6, sometimes 9 months to
Yeah.
settle some stuff, right?
For real, 100%.
Even on a $100,000 deal, like a church or something.
It takes a while, but the good news with this, they'll have the money in their pocket, and they're not going to be
Paid by
worried
a
about
finance
us.
company.
Yeah.
And you can still supplement.
Yep.
But the idea of incurred costs also, I know some of you guys are doing this stuff on your own. We call it estimating, supplementing. Some people call it adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
Different names for it, depending on what side you're on.
Right.
Lawyers call it litigating. Sometimes when you have incurred costs, like in the example of shrink wrapping, you and I talked about this today, we notify that we're going to be performing emergency mitigation or
Yep.
shrink wrap. We don't ask permission because they're going to say no. They
Correct.
want to come out, send an engineer and say, no, I put blue tarps on this. We should have shrink wrapped the whole thing. So there's a difference between notifying and asking permission.
Yep.
And a lot of guys are afraid to do that because they're afraid of incurred costs that they might not get back or have to play that game.
Well, it's a cash flow game as well.
Yes.
They're going to be out of pocket 50, 60, 100
Exactly.
grand for 4, 5, 6 months. A lot of guys, as you know, the startups, that's going to be hard for them. That's going to...
So for smaller guys, and that's a drastic example like shrink wrapping, but think about the 20, 30, 40 square comps. That's 80, 90% of the market out there.
Yep.
And most of these guys are building them.
A $30,000 roof is 95%
And they're
of the
sitting on
claims.
20 or 30 job files because Allstate came out and put 5 line items out and it should have been 15. And they pay
Right.
starter, ridge, waste, overhead, and profit. I can't fucking build it, which means I'm in a holding pattern.
Yep.
Or I send it to a guy like you and you're going to be in the same. You might be good, but you're still going to take
gonna
a little while
some
to
time.
beat them up.
Yep.
And now add that times that by 1,000. Now somebody just went out of business, somebody starved because they got underpaid, short paid, slow paid by a carrier, and they couldn't get cash when they needed cash.
Right.
And now the builds are slowing down, which means your cash flow is slowing down. And Mrs. Smith is mad at her contractor and her insurance company and you.
And a PA.
When all she
Yeah.
wanted was her damn roof on. So now I hit the solar button, finance model, put the roof on, got incurred costs. You still supplement the bejesus out of it, but now you ain't sweating it, neither is a contractor. Now your line items can be like this, and you can sit and play that game. And that's frosting on the cake later on.
And we can grind them down even farther now because you guys aren't in a hurry to get paid. The contractor's
Not in
going
a
to
hurry
give
to
us...
get paid. A lot of guys buckle because they're in a hurry to get paid. We just
Yep.
got paid by the finance company, still paid the supplement game. By the time the solar went on, I already got paid by the finance company. I'm getting paid a solar vig from the solar company. And then you call me and say, hey, by the way, your supplement got approved for $13,000.
That's on its
I
way.
just made it a triple profit
Right.
sandwich instead of eating a skinny
Yep.
microwave, those ones you put in a microwave,
Yep.
they got the little burger patty this big.
Well,
That's the Allstate asphalt
the insurance
cylinders out
company
there.
is preying on the they wanted people want it done fast, right? Well, to settle a claim, you can't settle a claim fast to be right because it's going to take some time. If we take that urgency away from the contractor and they can get their check right away, that's going to give my staff time to do a thorough investigation, get the thing done right, and grind these guys down like they're grinding us down.
Right.
Let's get paid 100% in 3 months instead of 20% in 1 month.
I like anytime you can move cash quickly.
Oh man.
It's powerful and it means something.
Yeah.
And I don't care if the word solar back in the days it was they had the mortgage bubble. People getting that's a bad example, but when you're
Yeah.
talking about moving money quickly, industries form, they merge, they're born. The solar industry's growing like this for a reason. It
Yep.
must be real, or it would be quadrupling to
Right.
a couple $100 billion here in the next 10 years. So it's a real industry, but it's interesting when you apply that model and start understanding the word incurred cost, which means leverage, by the way. That's leverage, guys. Back to the carrier, because now you don't have to sweat and play the line item game. In fact, you could just go lump sum on it if you wanted to.
Well, yeah. This is my bill. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, finished it.
Yeah. Next.
Too bad I already got paid, so you don't deal with my lawyer if you don't want to pay
Yeah.
it. Now you got to pay triple.
Yep.
Or deal with my PA. Here as it is.
Yep.
It's a different game.
Once again,
like it.
leverage is the key. Yep.
Leverage.
Yep.
Cash flow is always leverage. Cash is king. So we got, where are you heading to next? It's Monday.
I just got back it's the first time back in Scottsdale in about a month, so I'm gonna be with the guys for a few days here in our Scottsdale office. Back to California for the week, and then back to Dallas, back to Nashville, back to Colorado. So
What are you flying on, by the way?
What's that?
Who do you fly on? Any particular
I'm
airline?
a Delta guy when I go
So am I.
east. I love Delta. Oh my
They got all
God.
the new planes.
Dude, the seats.
First class now. They got those new.
Oh, I got a little pod. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a big Delta guy. I usually fly American when I'm going
I only fly
Dallas.
first class when I get free upgrades though.
I-
Every once in a while I buy first class. If I'm going more than an hour, I will go first.
Yeah, I do too. I got to be
4 hours,
comfortable.
long time.
I'm kind of a
Sit back
hotel
like this.
airline snob, so it's not good. It's one of my little, but it's all right. So
Well, back in the day when you flew, when you had all the miles, you used to actually get upgrade all the time. Now everybody's got the
Well, yeah, it's
everybody's got
about-
the platinum.
yeah.
It's like you almost never get it anymore.
if you do it right, my first class ticket's not much more than a coach
No,
ticket
it's not.
anymore. So it's
almost the same.
comfort and things like that are a big deal, especially I'm on the road so much.
So guys, look for Jack Hanks Velocity Public Adjusting, 41 states.
Yeah.
He will do deals down to 50 grand on the residential side, but he's got to manage his portfolio there. He can't do everything. But if you're a client of his, he says he'll help you out on whatever it is. He's not so concerned with that. He just wants to do a good job. And he'll be at the Wind and Storm Conference, Trade Show Expo, Dallas, February 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2022, Dallas Convention Center. That's a booyah, baby.
Booyah.
See you soon.